I'm Lisa Staten, Forest Discovery Program Director here at Heartland Forest.
And I'm Kira Moratz, an outdoor and wildlife educator here at Heartland as well.
Today's walk, we will be talking about our trees here at Heartland Forest. Much of our forest is covering our 93 acres of provincially significant wetland. We have a lot of really neat old trees here and a nice diversity of species. So come for a walk with us. One of the things that I like to point out when I was learning how to identify trees, I learned that we only have 2 of our big local tree species that grow quite tall into what we would consider a tree. We only have 2 that have opposite branching, so their branches are quite a bit like this. So I'm standing here beside one of our ashes. So our ashes are quite large trees, and along with our maples here in Niagara, they both come out and grow with opposite branching. So if you take a good look at this ash, you'll see all of the stems are coming out with that opposite branching. If you see that high up in the trees, you know you're looking at an ash or a maple. Our other native species of trees, like this elm over here, have alternate branching. So as they're growing and they're coming out of the stem, you'll see them alternating like this. So if you take a good look at this elm here, you'll be able to see that you're getting that alternating branches coming off. Just stay good like that. So as we're walking along and you see the footage, you might be able to tell there's opposite or alternate. So keep that in mind. As we're walking into the forest, the one thing that I like to take note of is on a nice hot day like this, how nice and cool it feels in here. What would you say, Kira? It's a good 5-10 degrees colder in here than out there.
Today we're running a heat wave and it's so much more pleasant in the forest.
One of the nice benefits of a nice forested area. This is one of my favorite trees. This tree here is a shagbark hickory. I've actually named this tree Shaggy. When I have little kids here, I like to tell them that Shaggy the shagbark is growing here. It's an easy tree to identify because if you pan up with the footage here, you'll be able to see all this very shaggy bark. So this tree is one of the trees that is known to grow in the Carolinian life zone. What that means is that this part of Canada has a mild, warm climate compared to other parts of Canada. So we will get a lot of trees that you might find down in the United States in the Carolinas. A lot of trees and plants will be also up in our area in Niagara.
So Lisa, how do some oaks like the pin oak get their name?
Our pin oak here, as the bottom branches die off, the oak retains them. So it gives the look of pins going all the way up the tree. So
this must be another shagbark, because look at that bark. It's looking pretty shaggy.
Yeah, you're right, Kira. That is. It's very fun when we have the kids come through because you'll hear them saying hello to all the shagbark hickories, and they'll be able to point them out from quite far away.
Say hi, Shaggy! Hi, Shaggy! Hi, Shaggy! All right, keep walking.
So not only do we have these big beautiful forests here at Heartland Forest, but our forests are very unique in that they're also called a slough forest. Now what this means is that we have a lot of these temporary wetlands here at Heartland Forest that you can see behind me now that are called vernal pools. Now we say temporary wetlands because in the spring going into the summer, these are full of water. You're probably wondering, we're standing on a bridge right now. The bridge is not needed at this time of the year because come August, our vernal pools are pretty much completely dried up. Now, because of this, a lot of the tree species that we have here at Heartland Forest, they're very adapted to wetter environments because of this. So we have some more unique tree species here at Heartland because of our slough forests.
A lot of our sub-canopy has been dominated by a spice bush. This is a spice bush growing right here. It's a really neat plant because when the settlers first came and we did not have grocery stores just to go to, they could use this plant as an allspice alternative. And it has a very distinctive spicy smell to it. It has very large lenticels. If you look at the bark, you'll see that it has very, very large lenticels. It's a good way to identify it. And those lenticels are used as part of the gaseous exchange. The spice bush butterfly is a spice bush swallowtail, and it is big, beautiful, and uses this for its caterpillars. Further down the trail, we come to one of my other favorite trees. This American elm has this beautiful buttressed root system, as you can see here, and it is very good at withstanding wet soils. Elms were planted along the streets, providing shade to neighborhoods throughout North America. Dutch elm disease reached eastern Canada during World War II and spread to Ontario in 1967. This elm so far is a survivor.
What the buttressed roots do is that they're nice and widespread and they help the tree to contain their stability instead of roots that go straight down underneath. Because of our slough forest and the changing in water and that, they help to keep it stable in a changing environment when the soil might erode away from it with the water coming and going.
And try and lean over, lean to the side, and then lean this way. Tipping a little bit, right? But what if we stick our legs a little bit farther apart like this, like tree roots? And then try and lean. Is that easier? Yeah. It helps ground us, it helps keep us balanced, right? So that's why trees spread and plants spread out their roots just like that.
Yeah. At this point in our trail, we're actually surrounded by 3 big, beautiful red oaks. If you look up in the canopy, you can see 3 big, beautiful red oaks all sort of coming together over top of this intersection in our trails. They're also a very easy tree to identify, even just from the bark. Because if you look at the way the bark looks going up the tree, you'll notice all these flat rows going all the way up, catching the sunlight.
Trees are the best for hugging, are they not? Give the trees a hug. Give the trees a hug.
Oh.